All right, man, my fucking bad, dude. I had to restart my computer twice, cut my internet on and off. It was just all bad, but it should be like a okay now.
All right, I see.
So,
It's what it is, man.
but man, like I was saying before I left, man, I think that they putting too much pressure on a little ball, and I think they gonna do well, but I don't know if they gonna make it to the playoffs. I hope they do. I'm rooting for the Ball family, but because I like the daddy. The daddy hella funny, but I just I don't know, man. It's how it is with rookie players, man.
Yeah, I ain't worried about it. But news just came out that Blake Griffin signed the extension, bro.
Oh my god. Well, Blake Griffin wants to be a loser then. Like why would you sign an extension to a team to that team?
Let's be honest though. Give me a sec. Let me put this. Wait. Give me a sec. Let me All right, I think we should be fully live now. Let's be honest though, bro. Blake, he wanted Chris Paul gone, bro.
He did. I agree.
Blake wanted Chris Paul gone. Let's call a spade a spade. Right. So Chris Paul leaving, a lot of people saying, oh, now he probably gonna, he probably want to leave. No, man, he got exactly what he wanted, bro. Got exactly what he wanted. Chris Paul is gone. Now he gonna be able to dribble a lot more. Because everyone know Chris Paul love to hold that ball, bro.
I agree, but I just feel like he's a loser. I mean, why would you stay with that team? I mean, I guess maybe for the money because he ain't getting the endorsement deals like that or whatever. But I just feel like he's still young, so granted, he still got time. But if you know anything about physiology and kinetics, or kinesiology, however the fuck you say it. Once one part of the body breaks down, your other body part of the body tends to compensate for it, which causes an imbalance. And once you have an imbalance, it's like a domino effect. Everything starts breaking down. That's why you see, once a player has knee injury problems, then they start having hip problems, or they have ankle problems, or then they start having elbow tendonitis, and then all of a sudden they got wrist problems, and all of a sudden they got shoulder problems, and then pretty soon the motherfucker can't stay on the court. So, it's like I feel like Blake Griffin's at that point where he's just slowly breaking down because he's had so many cumulative injuries and stuff. And
because he's athletic too. Don't get it twisted. He is.
You notice he slowed his game down since he's been injured. He ain't jumping out of the gym like he used to. He's taking a lot more jump shots. He ain't really playing with his back to the basket like he used to.
Yeah, but they could still do decent, but without.
But they ain't gonna make it out of the first round. Man, they wouldn't even make it out of the first round with CP3. So I just said, why would you? That's like staying with a chick that cheated on you. If a chick cheated on you, you know what I'm saying. All you gonna think about.
Hold up. Paul George is going to the OKC. What?
Like, who did they trade for that?
Yo.
Hey, that's dynamite though.
Yo. To hell with Cleveland.
Yo, that's dynamite.
I ain't gonna front, man. Yeah, I'm a Cleveland fan, but yo.
But Cleveland realized they would have had to give too much up to get George. Though. That's what I'm saying. How they just pulled this off? Whoever Paul George's agent is,
Sabonis. Oh my god!
Oh well, they just got a whole bunch of money off their cap because Oladipo had like $16 million owed to him this season too. Yo, that's a move right there.
Right now, I could see Westbrook doing that dance.
Yeah.
Yo, that's gonna be. I'm telling you, bro. You see, tonight is gonna be a crazy night, man. Tonight, a bunch of trades.
I love it. Hey,
Yo,
I love it.
everyone's saying the NBA season is boring. You're all right. Completely right. The playoffs, boring. But the off season is yo, that shit crazy, man.
Man, the OKC pulled something off in the 11th hour.
Yo, I'm telling you, man, yo.
But it's like I told you, the move for Cleveland was not George, because they've tried 3 different times to get this nigga, but they had to give too much up, So they did, LeBron's just like, I'll just get him next year,
Yeah, I think next
unless
year
he signed an extension.
Depend on what he decides to do. All right, depending on how they play or how they pull out in their playoffs, man. All right, because they're gonna get to their playoffs.
But look, this is my theory, and tell me if you agree with this. If LeBron don't win a championship this year, he gone.
I'm not sure, man.
I think he's leaving Cleveland.
I'm not sure.
I mean, because he did the same thing. He did the same thing in Miami.
It was different in Miami.
He's like,
it was different in Miami.
It ain't no different. It ain't no different. They had the same squad. They thought that they could win, and then they fucking choked. They got swept out, and LeBron was like, I'm out.
I think it was different, man. I think it was different. It was different just because of the amount of control he had there versus the amount of control he got in Cleveland. There's a huge. But
I feel like this. I feel like LeBron really wants to go out west, and I feel like he done all he can in the East.
Why?
I know you thinking from a logical standpoint, but LeBron's thinking from a pride/business standpoint because he's a grown man.
The business part, but why? If you could stay in the East, and almost every year, you got a chance to win the championship. Why are you gonna give that up?
Because I think LeBron. If this is a big if, because I believe if Cleveland makes the moves that I suggest, they can easily win. But if they don't win this year, I feel like LeBron, he's very ceiling conscious. He's like, look, I've reached my ceiling. I'm out. He's like, I don't want to wait. I'm 33. I'll be going on 34 next year.
We'll see, man. That would be interesting. Man.
And his options would be extremely open. He could go anywhere the fuck he wants.
Yeah.
He could go to LA. He could go to OKC. He could go to Houston.
He definitely on point with that one. Definitely on point with that one. All right. But man, Paul George.
So the only thing left is
shook on that.
The only thing left is for Carmelo to come to Cleveland. Now that's just pretty much sealed his fate.
Yeah.
Carmelo's going to Cleveland because
I'm sure.
Or stay in New York. It's one of those two. Because I don't see him going nowhere else.
What do you think Paul they need Westbrook and Paul George need right now, man?
I think they need a coach. I think that's what they need. I think that they need somebody who, like a Larry Brown or somebody like that, somebody that's really going to be able to put the team together in a system that's going to benefit them and help them grow. Because that's what Westbrook's problem is. He's a baby. He's a prima donna. He wants everything his way, And I think he needs a little structure, and I think he needs to grow up a little bit.
Everyone likes everything their way, man.
I know, but he gets it his way.
Yeah, I agree with you, Fuzzy, man. They need some shooters for sure. They definitely need some shooters.
Well, where are you going to shoot
how
from?
the league?
It's like shooting is becoming a lost art in the NBA.
No, man, shooters are cheap.
Shooters are cheap. Where they at though? Where the shooters at?
Shooters all over the league, man. You got shooters, man. They got shooters.
Nigga, name 10 shooters that ain't on the Warriors right now.
Man, you see Warriors don't stack up a lot.
Exactly. So be quiet, bro. You know I'm goddamn right. Shooting's a lost art in this motherfucker. Right. Everybody dribble, drive.
Shooters, man. You can find shooters.
You cannot find no shooters. So you barely can even find really good 3-point shooters. That's why everybody went out for Kyle Korver when he was a free agent. Everybody was going crazy for his ass. And then the Cavs picked him up, and he ain't did shit since they picked him up.
Kyle Korver.
I mean, look, the jump shot is a lost art. Look at all these players that come out of college with janky jump shots. Your boy Ball included.
Man,
Like,
that shit hitting though. You don't.
It's hidden, but it's
that's what
janky.
matters. That's what
Who
matters.
taught you how to shoot like that?
Him hitting. It doesn't matter,
who
bro.
taught you how to shoot like that?
Once he could get it
who
off,
was you watching? Who
Why
did you
hating, bro? Once he could get off that
jump, went into the shot creator and it's like, oh, let me make a shot that I shoot with one hand, with my other hand not even touching the ball.
It's net.
It ain't always net.
Man, no one jump shot ain't always net. He's shooting over 40%, bro.
We'll see if that shit work in the NBA with some real guards.
Man, NBA don't play defense. Stop.
NBA don't jump shoot no more either. Shit.
Man, college play more defense than the NBA, bro. That's the fact.
Right.
That's the fact. If you could get off a shot in college, you could get it off in the NBA.
Play defense and shit.
I'm tired of people talking about when you come to NBA, you won't. Man, stop. NBA don't play defense. If you blow, you look at Steph Curry, how he drive. Man, come on, bro. If you blow on Steph Curry, tweet foul. What you doing? What you doing? What you doing? Give some space. Come on, bro. And they run moving screens all day. Again,
but I feel like the jump shots are lost art, especially the mid range.
I catch bodies. What's good, man?
I catch bodies in this bitch. Yeah, but yeah, man, I feel like the jump shot is a lost art in the NBA right now, man. Like, especially the mid range from 18 to 20 feet. I'm like, I don't see nobody running off screens no more, and taking pride in the fact that they can shoot jumpers. And the only nigga I really see doing that is Westbrook and Harden.
Man. Oh man!
And old boy from Portland too. I can't forget about Damian.
Got a few players, man.
It's a few though. It's not like back in just as early as 7 years ago. Niggas was we had an abundance of niggas taking jump shots.
Man, but I show more threes are shot in the NBA right now and made than ever. Now.
That's a Warriors effect. That's not just
only Warriors, man. When you look at the Spurs play, bro, the Spurs
Warriors, Toronto, Spurs, and the Cavs. Those are teams that are very three dominant.
Man,
come
on, man. How you not gonna mention Houston, bro? That's what they ran. Houston, I'm saying that's a lot of shooters, bro. That's a lot of shooters.
That's 7 teams out of like 28.
The teams that count got the shooters. It doesn't matter.
That's what I'm saying. There ain't that many shooters.
But there's 7 teams. All right, let's look up. I actually got more than 7 teams, to be quite honest, man.
That's taking threes.
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah,
and making them.
Yeah, man.
It's nice to take threes, but can you make them,
man?
You got 1,000 attempts and you only made 250. That's deep.
Man, but man, they need shooters. They could find at least 2. They could find shooters, man. They could find shooters.
Where you gonna get them from, though?
The D League, man. The D League got a lot of shooters.
Yeah, you're right. That's why they in the D League. You can't penetrate? Get out of here.
That's the problem, man. That's why the Spurs keep stacking up while other teams,
But the problem is the Spurs is a very injury prone team because I think they one of the 3 oldest teams in the league. I'm not sure about that. Quote me on that. I know Cavs is in the top 3, but I think the Spurs.
Cavs up there for sure.
I think the Spurs
they would actually start, I don't know, man.
I told you that earlier. I said that the Cavs need to get some of them old men off that damn bench. LeBron need to take all his damn friends off the fucking bench.
But that PG thing, man, think about it, man. I know that's like Westbrook happy for that 1 year, but it's a 1-year rental though. Like,
we don't know that. We don't know what the fuck.
Then again, we could look at it this way. It's gonna free up some cap either way, right?
Exactly.
Let's be honest.
But we don't know what we don't know what the fuck George is gonna do, to be honest. I think his heart is in LA, but he's a real nigga, from Compton, I believe.
Yeah.
So I think he wants to win. And if LeBron is gonna stay, I think he's a Cavalier. But I don't think LeBron's gonna stay. That's just my theory. Because I think LeBron he's just done with being, oh, you only can win in the East. You can't do it in the West. Why don't you go out there with the
I don't
Warriors and
think he
play?
cares about that now, man.
I don't think he cares about it
I don't think that bothers him as
I don't
much.
think he cares about it like mentally, like it affects him, but I think he cares about it as a legacy. LeBron is very legacy conscious, because he was getting kind of heated about 3-5. When niggas was like 3-5, but I'm like, how many of y'all niggas went to 5 championships, finals?
Yeah, that conversation, LeBron is a victim of him being that good. Unfortunately, he need a full squad to perform to win championships.
The problem is LeBron has ran into a lot of great teams in the
Yeah,
finals. It ain't just what two out of his 5 losses was to the Spurs, the other 2 was to the Warriors, and 1 was to the Mavs.
yeah.
So I'm like, you lost to the same teams twice. So it's not like you losing to fucking 5 different teams like the damn Pistons was back in the day.
Yeah, he had a few spots where he disappeared, against the
But that,
Mavs.
but that, it's like you
and
said,
shit.
he back in the day, he used to like to defer. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
that's a problem.
And
That's definitely
that
a problem.
that could be a gift and a curse, just like with anything.
Damn, bro, like Twitter going crazy right now, man. I ain't going front.
Your Twitter?
With that Paul George shit, bro.
Oh yeah.
God.
That's crazy, but that's a good move. But I wasn't I just saying earlier, like, if OKC could get, Melo, I didn't say George, but because I didn't think it was an option, but they pulled that shit off. So kudos to OKC,
Definitely, bro.
even if it is a 1-year rental,
And I mean, listen to me, right? This Westbrook they're trying to get Westbrook to sign an extension, bro.
But he ain't.
He might. He might.
Ain't.
Depending on how much money, bro.
He gone.
He might.
He gone. He won't test free agency because he's never been a free agent.
Yeah, I know, man, but that money, bro.
It ain't even about the money for Westbrook because Westbrook's balling too. He got his little endorsements and stuff, you know what I'm saying? And he got his car dealership.
You see those zeros, man. That might change your mind a little bit.
You're right, because cash rules everything around me. But
you can say what you want, bro. That money, bro.
But I think Westbrook wants to win too. I think I see Westbrook, but at the same time he might go to LA. I don't know. Like Westbrook is an enigma to me. I don't know what.
I think Westbrook already proved what he had to prove. To be honest.
Yeah, he did.
MVP with that averaging that triple double. I think he already proved what he had to prove.
But he ain't proved that he can win a championship.
So you see, that's where this year come into play. All right. This year, we're going to be like, all right, man, you got the MVP. You already averaged your triple double. Now, let's see if you could win now.
But I still think OKC ain't got enough firepower as whoever suggested in your comments.
You got Westbrook and PG.
Yeah, but what you going to do when one of them goes to the bench, though, and needs to sip of water?
That's what I'm saying. Now they need to make the right moves and trade. Now, that's what I'm saying. The trade just open up. The trade
now they go out and out and get Iguodala.
All right, the trade book.
If OKC goes out, if OKC goes out and gets Iguodala, then come back and talk to me.
So right now, they're hesitating right now, man. Well, come on, bro. Iguodala, come on, man. Get a few pieces out. It's possible. You don't know, man. Don't know. A lot of people.
We don't know. that's what the beauty of free agency. I love free agency because we don't know what the fuck's going to happen.
Got a lot of free agents out there right now. Okay, Drew Holiday. Nah, I don't see that. Maybe a backup. He could make a decent backup, man. Drew Holiday. Get him out there. All right. So, man, it's gonna be interesting, bro. I'm telling you, man.
I'm excited. I just really want to see what the Cavs is going to do, what their moves is going to be. Can they pull off Carmelo? Is Carmelo going to leave New York? Nobody's thinking about the Bosh move, but I think Bosh is.
I mean, everyone, after they told him, man, after Miami said, yo, we're not willing to risk your life for this shit, bro.
But his doctor said it's cool. But like I said, I have family members that have blood clots, and once you on the medication, you good.
Yeah, once you constantly stay on that medication, man.
You know
That's why I don't understand why Miami dropped him off. That
They
Facts.
just wanted to get rid of that. They just want to get rid of that contract, and they didn't want to resign him. But at
Probably.
the same time, you know, they kind of tattered his career to a degree because nobody wanted to touch him right now. You know, but if I was the Cavs, that's the move that can shock the league right now. That's the black hat move right there.
Yeah. No doubt, man. No doubt.
I mean, could you imagine him starting with Kevin Love on that front, boy? Like, that would just be both of them in the corners.
All right. Let's look at this. You say LeBron gonna leave. What if PG say, yo, LeBron, let me talk to you a little bit, man. All right. I don't come to Cleveland once you stay, man. Once you stay, I'm coming to the Cleveland. All right. We're gonna talk about take a little less. Once you talk to LeBron, let LeBron take a little less. That could work with Kevin Love.
Anything's possible with an owner like Dan Gilbert that's willing to pay that luxury tax like that. But, you know, I just feel like this is just my intuition, and you know how my intuition is. I'm usually 80-90% of the time right. I feel like LeBron's gone. You know, if that's a big if though. If they don't win this year, because he ain't taking He ain't taking 2 L's in a row. You know, because even though it's his fault, because this is the team you constructed, this is what you wanted. You know, but you know, ain't nobody really want to play in Cleveland in no snow. Everybody want to go to fucking warm climates.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you.
That's why I'm surprised that's why I'm surprised about this Paul George shit. But I don't think he had no control over it. You know, Indiana got.
Yeah, I mean, it's a trade. I don't think that he had no control. Yeah. Like none. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Like none. So it was a rental. I think on OKC part, they were looking at getting rid of those contracts, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Because they way over the cap with some bum.
So trade out those two.
Mm-hmm.
All right. For Paul George, you got one, and it's a rental year, but at least you could now look for a shooter.
Mm-hmm.
At least a shooter. All right. Shooters don't cost that much, to be honest.
They don't, but they're hard to find right now.
Yeah, but they could definitely figure out something, man. All right.
But you know who I think the sleeper team to look out for this year is the 76ers. I don't know why. But I just like their energy. I like the shit that they talk. I like they nucleus, you know. They made some moves not some moves, but they made some progress.
They young.
They made some progress last year. You know, they was on the cusp.
Teams don't win.
They don't, but I'm talking about as far as like surprising some people. I'm not saying like, oh, this team's gonna come out of the fucking.
I'll give you this much, Ryan. I'll give you this much. They're in the East.
Exactly.
They're in the East, so it's possible.
They got a better shot than the Timberwolves because everybody got high expectations of the Timberwolves.
It's definitely possible.
And I don't see the Timberwolves getting in the top 8.
Yeah, exactly. So it's
they still a power forward or a center away.
Yeah. So I could give them that. They got skills, they got talent, but a lot of people got. I
can see them as the 7th seed and making it to the second round. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my prediction for the 76ers.
Let me tell you, Fultz already come. I'm looking at Fultz Markel, man, and the first thing he started talking about, he's want to be MVP and Rookie of the Year.
I like that though. I like that bravado.
But who he's playing with? He's playing with Ben Simmons.
I know. But you know how it is. You know how it's all about chemistry. You know,
exactly.
If you got chemistry with a nigga that
Markel conversation is I want to be this. I want to be.
He's young though. How old is he? 21, 20?
That's what I'm saying. Now rookies always look to establish themselves first, especially one like Markel.
But it's like I said, 4 through the 8. The 8th seed is wide open for any team in the East. It's not like the West where it's uber competitive and the first 8. I mean, all 8 seeds is pretty much locked up from the beginning of the season till the end. You know,
fair enough.
in
I
the
can see
East.
it, man.
And
I
I like the 76ers as a 7th seed. I like them breaking that into the second round because I'm really not feeling Washington. I don't know why. You know, just something in my
Yeah,
heart.
I think they're about to offer Wall a huge ass
They did.
contract
He
again.
signed it. He signed it.
What,
170,
like something like 40
million.
mil? Something like 40 mil a year or something like
Yeah,
that.
170 million. That's crazy.
Damn. They
That's
keep
too much
stacking his paper up, man. Like, damn.
money. Mm-hmm.
I know all good, but do y'all want to win?
I mean, that's almost $1 million a game, nigga.
Yeah, man.
Close to it.
Shit.
You
No,
know?
let's
Well,
not
not quite. It's
half
more
a
like
mil, half a mil.
it's like
Half a mil.
475,000. But
Yeah,
still, I'm
like half a
exaggerating.
mil.
I'm exaggerating because when you think about that, nigga stepping on the court, almost getting $1 million.
Yeah, it's half a mil a game.
Yeah.
Right. Damn, bruh.
That's crazy. That's more than LeBron's making right now, nigga. Shit.
That's crazy, bruh.
Shit.
Half a mil a game.
Nigga, just to touch his foot on the court, nigga. Oh, $500,000. Hello. Shit.
Wow. All right. So that's interesting, man. So I don't think the Wizards, no one looking at them to even beat Cleveland.
But you know, everybody always hyping up the Wizards. Like
they're not trying.
You know, and Toronto's another team everybody always hypes up and shit. I want to see Toronto finally do something, but every time they get close to doing something, they collapse.
But we all know, man. We all know they're not gonna do it because one, their greatest weapon is a mid-range specialist in the NBA where threes rule. It's not gonna happen, bro.
And Boston is another team that I think people, I don't say is overrated, but they over exaggerate. They're good, but they still, to me, in my opinion, 2 or 3 pieces away.
Listen to me. I think Boston had the opportunity.
They had a lot of opportunities. They could have got George. Cleveland. They could have got George and Melo.
They could have got George. Everyone who's up on a trade block, they could have got because they got all these picks just stacking up for no reason at all. Like, seriously. People don't stack picks anymore like that because young teams, like I said, young players don't necessarily win. If you want to win, you don't stack up young teams, man.
Well, this is the thing. You know, it's called the mentor effect. You know what I'm saying? You need veteran leadership, somebody that's been there, somebody that's, you know, able to lead you to the promised land in order to win. So you got to have a great balance of rookies and veterans, but you can't have too many goddamn veterans because you don't want all these motherfuckers coming in and out of the damn lineup because they always injured. Because the older you get, the more injury prone you get.
Facts.
You know, so it's like, especially if you live in a cold climate. So, you know, you got to wake up in the morning, you got to warm up the knees, got to do some yoga, got to get your beta carotene, got to motherfucking get your juice and shit. Got to stretch.
Yeah. What the hell? The Wolves just got Teague? Oh, my. All right. Well, that means you're right. They're probably not even going for Lowry anymore. Because they got rid of Rubio, which I thought meant they were making a push for Lowry, man. But they got Teague. Teague is pretty good, man. Teague is pretty good. He could definitely hold his own.
I think Teague with Butler is going to be a deadly combination. I really like the Timberwolves squad, but I think they're a coach away. I think they need a coach.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know who their coach is currently. Is it still McHale? Kevin McHale?
But let's be honest, man. Everyone's looking at the Warriors, right? And the Warriors, what is so great about the Warriors? Yeah, it's the Kevin Durant.
You know what's great about their Warriors is
their system, bro.
Is their system.
That system, bro. They figure out the system, just like the Spurs had that system in place.
The cool thing about Steve Kerr that nobody realizes, Steve Kerr looked at what Mark Jackson built. He's like, how could I capitalize on that? Okay, let's run a system where, you know, Curry, you know, he's the point and he's the general, and let the players do what they good at, you know. Draymond, excuse me. Yeah. Draymond, you know, you be the cleanup man, take your little 3-point shots, Thompson, you know, you dip and dab, you know, he just kind of lets them
Yeah.
do he lets them do what they're good at, but he puts them in positions so that they can do what they're good at. And, you know, Curry's running the show.
For
And
some
when
reason, that's why I still think the only team in the West that might stand a chance is
the
the
Spurs,
Spurs, because the Spurs
the Spurs almost beat them
again
last year.
got their system in place, and
The
if
Spurs,
Kawhi wasn't injured,
exactly. We would have been talking about the
it
Cavs and the
might,
Spurs.
it might. I'm not saying, you know, I'm gonna be crazy to act like just by that one game, but it just might be a different combination. Because I don't care. Yes, KD is a scoring. Yes, he's unstoppable, but Kawhi on him, Kawhi will irritate anyone, bro.
But you know what I liked about KD this year is KD all of a sudden learned how to play defense. You know, and my brother was saying the same thing because I was saying, "Oh, KD, he don't know how to fucking play defense." He's like, "Watch the game. When's the last time you watched the game?"
This is why if I was Westbrook, I would be mad as shit.
I said the same thing. I've been saying this about KD all year. I'm like, why the fuck couldn't you do this shit in OKC? Who is this nigga? I don't know this nigga that's playing on the court. This isn't Kevin Durant. I know.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I was like watching KD. He's working harder on defense. I'm like, where was this KD? I'm like, really, bro? You had Warriors
He's being aggressive.
3-1. You had them 3-1. All you needed to do was a percentage of this. Okay, but I'm glad the Cavs won. Whatever, you know, it's whatever, man. All right. Yeah,
I want to see the Cavs
as I said, Flop, man. Like, I'm not saying they will win necessarily, beat the Warriors, but if Kawhi was there, it would still be, you know, it would have been more competitive, man. I think the Spurs still need a piece, though. They still need a piece. Simmons is now finding his way, bro. Simmons is a beast, bro.
Spurs need one more scorer.
Yeah,
know.
Simmons. I see Simmons could like he could.
Mm-hmm.
He could get up there if he works in this off season and work on that ball handle a little bit more, because he definitely hungry as hell in defense, bro.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely hungry on defense. So I think, man, the Spurs need probably maybe one more piece and they could do some damage, bro. A lot of people not even talking about the Spurs like that, to be honest.
Yeah, because everybody expects, you know, the Spurs to be good, like always. Yeah. You know, funny thing, I heard somebody talking about Dirk Nowitzki. I can't remember who, saying that he had his contract was coming up, and somebody should go out and get him. But I was like, Dirk Nowitzki's hella old now.
Yeah, I wouldn't get Dirk. I wouldn't get Dirk.
I would get Dirk on the cheap.
Dirk is close to retirement. It's time for Dirk to go.
I would get Dirk for cheap. Don't get me wrong.
What?
Just to get some 3-point. I'm talking about shooters, because shooters is rare. Shit.
I would get Dirk though, man.
I would get Dirk for them threes, boy.
No, man. Time for Dirk to go, bro. Alright. He did his thing. He up there. Dirk. No, man.
Yeah, because you know Steve Nash had to go, so you know it's time for your ass to.
Time for Dirk to go, man. He did his thing, bro. But Dirk, I don't see Dirk impacting no team in no way at all.
But, you know, like the Warriors, they just need to be cap conscious.
They're next level, and I think KD, like, it's KD's team now. Let's be honest.
It is KD's team. I mean,
I'm not saying Dirk don't produce, man, but to impact a next team like that, nah, man.
He would be a great role player. Like, he would be good on the Spurs if he would go.
Oh, stop, man. Nah, man. They already got Paul Gasol.
Nowitzki for an Aldridge. Come on now, because Aldridge already want to go. Aldridge done said, trade me, nigga. So Aldridge for Nowitzki, I like that.
Oh no, man!
Come on, man.
You
want to go? They can free up some cap space. You know what I'm saying? They can get some trade picks out of it. You know what I'm saying? You send them to the Mavs, nigga. Shit.
How old is Dirk, man? I need to change him.
36, I think.
Man, that dude Earl, man, he's older than Dirk, man. Man, you talking about?
Shit.
Man, he 39. Oh, hell no.
Is it?
Man, stop.
He's 39?
Yeah, that dude old as dirt.
Wait, are you serious? He 39?
Man, dude, man, he 39, bro.
Hey,
No,
hey,
man.
he still can shoot.
Yo, come on, bro. Think about it, man. What Dirk doing to Draymond Green?
He don't need to do nothing. Just shoot the jumper over his ass.
He not gonna get off that shot, bro.
Just back him down a little bit. Do that little fadeaway jump, twist around jumper that he got.
Off that shot, bro. Nah, you might as well give him a walker and a wheelchair or something. No, hell no, bro. Dirk, old as dirt, bro.
Hey, I thought he was 36. Shit, my bad. Shit, that nigga 39. Never mind.
Man, he did his thing.
But I'm saying that's a still beneficial trade to the Spurs for a nigga that don't want to be on the team.
Nah, you can't just give away Aldridge like that, bro. Not
for Aldridge for 2 first-round picks and Dirk. Come on now.
Maybe. I could see that
or
working.
even a first and 2 second rounds and 1 third.
All right, I'll give the Spurs that because the Spurs usually get some amazing picks in the second and stuff like that. So I could see that because of the Spurs does such an amazing recruiting job, man. A scouting job, I mean, but I
mean, because where you really going?
That's not because of Dirk. That's not because of Dirk productivity, man. Don't get me wrong. That's just because I know all just don't want to be there. All right, that's it.
I think Dirk would fit great into the Spurs system. He could just sit in the corners, take the threes.
Let me put a picture out there for you, man. Tony Parker, old as hell.
I know.
Did Ginobili say he's gonna retire already?
But they love old ass niggas in the Spurs.
Did Ginobili say he's gonna retire?
And it's hot as fuck in San Antonio. So them niggas can get a little bit more rejuvenation out.
Man, that nigga old, bro. Man, hell no.
Who else they gonna get? Shit. Who else they gonna trade this?
You gonna start giving Dirk arthritis pills and shit? Man, hell no. Man, then he might have to start taking Viagra to hoop, man.
Shit.
That's how bad it's gonna be.
It's just a goddamn suggestion. Somebody down in the comments, y'all got a better suggestion for Aldridge where he can go.
Man,
please.
Not there. Okay. For sure. No, man. Nah. I don't think Dirk is the answer, bro. All right. Aldridge, I think Aldridge was overrated. You know, they thought they were getting
Aldridge is not overrated. Aldridge is just not their type of guy. He's not their guy.
Aldridge want to be the center. He want to be the center of the attack. Like everything goes through him probably. Which is, I mean,
but you know, I haven't watched the Spurs play in a while, but correct me if I'm wrong, but they mostly got him. They mostly got him at the 5. They don't have him at the 4. You know, most of the time. And I think that he likes playing more at the 4 because he likes to, be aggressive to the rim at times, and then take those little jumpers. Whereas where he's a center, he's more. And as a center, you more at the basket. You can't really roam. So I maybe that could be it. I don't know.
The problem with Aldridge is he can't shoot threes. He's a great shooter, but he can't shoot threes consistently. For some reason, that shit make no sense to me though. He could really shoot 1 foot on the line. He's consistent with that. The moment he stepped behind that 3-pointer. And let's be honest, these centers are getting outdated, man. These centers that don't.
Oh yeah, because all teams are going to be playing small ball. Because the Warriors.
Come on, when you go up against a Porzingis, that do 7-3 dribbles, crossovers, shoot.
But he's slow as fuck.
He's 7-3. What do you expect?
I know. That's what I'm saying. All you gotta do is put a big ass body on him.
He's shooting over anyone, man.
Put a Kirk Cousins on his ass.
7-3, man.
Put a Kirk Cousins on his ass. Maybe maybe a LaMarcus Aldridge, because LaMarcus Aldridge still plays D, Because one thing I know about thing
he definitely get exposed in the playoff. Clark said Aldridge got exposed in the playoff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he not really a back to the basket player like that, bro. Everyone
No,
wanted him to be
he's
a
a
Tim
face.
Duncan.
He's a he's a face up. He's a face up
Yeah.
Dirk Nowitzki clone. You know what I'm saying? That's
He-
what he's a mid-range Dirk Nowitzki. That's why I said he'd be a great trade.
Yeah, for real.
That's his
Well,
game.
well, the Bulls drop off Rondo today, man. What do you think gonna be a good fit for Rondo if someone could pick him up, man? Because they waived him. They waived him, man. I'm think New Orleans, man.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because I think Holiday is a free agent now. So, you know, Drew, he ain't gonna be there. So Rondo gonna be a good pickup, bro. And Rondo got these two big men. Like I think Rondo could really put them in sync.
What do you think about this? You know, and I know I keep trying to make suggestions, but what do you think about, you know, now don't kill me now. What do you think about Rondo to the Cavs and then moving Kyrie to the 2?
All right, okay. I already cussed you out until you said, all right, let me think about that, man.
I'm just thinking out loud because, you know, his contract ain't gonna be that big. They do kind of need a point guard, even though Kyrie is great at passing the ball. You know, Kyrie really likes to score.
What?
He's great at assisting when he puts his mind to it. Come on now.
Stop. The moment you got to put your mind to it is a problem. All right. Let me just start off by saying that. The moment you got to put in your sentence.
That's why I'm saying put him at the 2. That's why I'm saying put him at the 2.
The problem with that is this. Defense, bro.
Rondo don't play D?
Huh? Defense. They're going to be too small. They're going to be too small up front, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's a problem. They're going to be too small up front.
But, you know, it's hard to find. It's hard to find, you know, two guards over 6 feet. I mean, you want that as a team, but you don't see that working as much in the NBA.
I could see. All right, let me. All right.
But that was just a suggestion. That was just an over the top suggestion.
I could see Rondo, if he's willing to come off the bench, which I doubt he is, probably coming off the bench for the Cavs, maybe. But outside of that, they're gonna be too short to be playing together. Straight up.
But like a real suggestion, he could go to Milwaukee. You know, he could go to.
Milwaukee just got their rookie of the year, man.
I know, but I'm saying he can come off the bench. Because he's not going to be a starter.
I think
he's not going to be a starter unless he's on a rebuilding team. He could go actually.
New Orleans.
Oddly enough, he could go to Miami.
Why are you always trying to recruit players, man?
Because we need a goddamn point guard. Shit.
Why are you always trying to recruit players, bro?
Shit, we need a goddamn point guard.
Y'all got Dragic, ain't it?
Man, fuck Dragic. Fucking European ass nigga. Shit. Can't even see the goddamn floor, you so short.
Man. But
at least a nigga with big ass hands could do something with the ball, be a magician.
Oh, you know where Rondo could go to as well?
Where?
Clippers, man.
Yeah.
Clippers, bro. He got DeAndre and Blake. I mean, Blake ain't gonna be happy though.
He'll be happier than he is with he'll be happier he was with Chris Paul. But you know, fucking Rondo gonna get in that nigga's face. Like, look, shut the fuck up.
Rondo is the next Chris Paul, bro. Just that he can't shoot threes. Let's be honest.
He can't shoot at all.
Cause Rondo like that ball. He want that ball. He want to be he want to orchestrate everything. That's Rondo as well. You know what I'm saying? So.
But you know, it's hard to put not LeBron. It's hard to put Rondo in places now because he's just, you know, he's become a journeyman, you know. And
he showed his worth in the playoffs, bro.
Yeah, he did. I'm not arguing with that.
You know what I'm saying? He showed as soon as Rondo got injured, the Bulls look like.
And since Lowry is leaving Toronto,
like fish out of water, man. Like they just look completely out of sync.
And since Lowry is leaving Toronto, he could go to Toronto.
You ain't sure he's leaving Toronto yet? You not sure?
That nigga gone.
Man, he and the
only reason why you stay friends. Look, One of my Canadian homies told me the only reason why you stay in Canada is for the poutine and the bitches.
Right, that's too positive.
So you know, Lowry's like, shit. Let me get the fuck on, go somewhere where there's some heat.
Man, but where would Lowry go, man? I think
Lowry could go
Lowry's in
anywhere.
the perfect system, bro. He's not a pass first point guard. He's a I'm going to get mines type point guard. And not too many organizations really. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He should stay. I think he should stay in Canada, bro. I'm just saying. They got a good thing going on there. Yeah, we won't beat LeBron. Oh, well. Make it to the playoffs. They still get that extra money.
Get that TV time.
And how old is Larry, man, by the way?
What up? I would say 30, maybe.
What up, Corey, man? What's good? Huh?
Maybe 30?
Yeah.
28 to 30 range, somewhere around there.
Probably. Because I don't know, man. I don't think he could go too many places, bro. All right. Kyle Lowry is 31.
He can go anywhere where they need it. He can go anywhere where they need to shoot first guard.
Man. Yeah, but where is that? Who wants shoot first guard?
Atlanta.
Who got to have the ball in their hands?
Atlanta. I'm thinking some of these bottom feeder teams. I can't even think of all of them right now. Atlanta. I don't know what the Grizzlies. I don't know what the Grizzlies situation is looking like right now with their point guard, but maybe the Grizzlies.
Heller. I ain't gonna front.
Sacramento.
Man, anyone really talking about Sacramento like that anymore, man? Since they got rid of Cousins.
No. I was mad that Cleveland didn't try to get Cousins. Shit.
Yeah, that would be impossible, man. That cap already over there, man. Come on, bro.
I would have traded Cousins for Love. Yeah.
I can't argue that at all. I can't. But I mean, Love played out of his mind this season.
I mean, granted, like everybody's picking on Love, but the thing I don't like about Love is Love is not that aggressive point guard, power forward / center that you want. You want a nigga to yell and scream and get hype. That's what I liked about Bosh, because everybody thought Bosh was quiet and shit. Bosh would get everybody hype on the team, like, yeah, fucking shot the three,
Yeah,
but
Bosh was the energy as well for that squad.
But like I feel like Love when the team is down, he disappears and he brings the team down because he's not doing shit, and it's very noticeable. But I feel like when the team is up, he's a front runner, and he does his thing. But I feel like Cousins is gonna give you that energy every night, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
No doubt. No, Mike Conley ain't leaving the Grizzlies, man. You see how much they're paying that dude? Shit, stop. Ain't no one trading no one for Mike Conley, man. That contract there. All right, they got to build around them.
I was trying to remember if Mike Conley was still with the Grizzlies or not, because I haven't seen the Grizzlies play in a while either. So, but I was just thinking out loud. But Utah was actually a surprise this year. For me.
But that's what I'm saying. They got a lot of free agents this year too, though.
Yeah, but it was amazing. Well, not amazing, but it was great seeing that team finally come together after Jerry Sloan left the team. Because even though I was always rooting against Utah back in the day, Laker days.
Utah. They got a few injuries in the playoff. Let's be honest. Yeah. All right, this is what I'm saying. Like, I think Golden State, they got a Haitian there who works some voodoo or something. All right, I'm just putting this out there.
Yeah, because all of a sudden,
every year,
all of a sudden, Curry's ankles, is fixed.
Yo, it's 3 years in a row, right? That Golden State getting the easy ass pass to the finals, man. 3 years in a row. I'm just saying.
I wouldn't say easy. They just whooping niggas ass easy.
No, but all right. teams that they playing usually get a
Who in
bunch
the
of
West?
injuries. How much
Who in the West?
injuries? How much
Who
injuries
in
the teams they're
who in the
playing
West?
against are picking up, bro?
But who in the West are they playing against that's A, aggressive enough to cause them injuries, B, is competitive against them, on a
Well,
consistent night
it's
to night.
hard to play aggressive against the Warriors, you know, with the
Knock them shooters
referees,
down,
with the
knock
referee
them
system
shooters
in
down,
place.
knock them shooters down and get a flagrant. I don't give a fuck. I'll play dirty.
All right. But like, how many injuries the teams they've been playing against been getting? I know Draymond Green be kicking half of them in their nuts. All right, that doesn't count anymore. I think if you're playing against Green, you should be walking with a cup, man. That's all I'm saying. If you're not walking with a cup, it's your fault. All right, it's your fault. If you get kicked in your nuts and you still ain't got, man, something wrong with you, man. You watch all these tapes.
I'm gonna pull a Bruce, bro. I'm gonna pull a Bruce Bowen on that nigga if he kicks me in the nuts. I'm gonna put my foot underneath your feet when you jump up and take a shot and wait for you to come back down, nigga.
See, yeah, I know, man. They always got some. Either the point guards are injured, or the key players, man, are injured. This year, even the Utah, who was injured this year for Utah? Haywood was injured, wasn't he? I think
I don't remember.
Haywood was injured, and the point George Hill was injured as well.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Well. So they keep facing the big teams they meet up on usually get injured. All right. Who beat the Clippers? True. Who knocked off the Clippers?
Was it the Spurs?
Because Kawhi got injured this time. Yeah, Gobert was injured. My bad. Gobert was injured. So they keep meeting up on teams that got injured players, bro. All right. So I mean that's what everyone wants in the hard, difficult West. All right, fight up for the year. By the time the playoffs,
but the crazy thing about the Warriors is like the Warriors was very beatable until they got KD. Now they got KD, it's like who the fuck do you guard? Because if KD is locked down, then Thompson could go off. Thompson's locked down, KD can go off.
Gobert, yeah.
If both of them is locked, if you play one-on-one defense, then fucking Curry is gonna eat you alive and penetrate. He's gonna penetrate and dish, or
but
he just take his crazy shots.
It's interesting, man. I ain't gonna front this, man. But the
regular season is gonna be boring, but the playoffs is gonna be very interesting this
year. Yeah. Because right now, this off season. With the trades, the Warriors got everyone panicking. If anyone want to beat them right now, it's an arms race. So you know how it is, man. But let's talk some 2K, man. We on the NBA too long, man. Damn, we let's hit up some 2K though, man. All right. What you say you had some ideas for 2K, man.
All right. Well, me and you, we tend to agree, on most of the ideas with 2K.
I ain't sure most, man. I ain't sure most, but
But the thing I don't like about 2K is that their online infrastructure has not changed since the inception of the game. Like y'all, every year y'all playing on the same amount of servers. They're not adding no more damn servers. They not trying to improve, internet connectivity. They're not trying to improve, matchmaking. They just we got our system and we sticking the fuck with it. Y'all either take it or leave it. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that to me points at developers being extremely lazy because nobody wants to fix the hard shit because the hard shit requires manpower, resources. But the hard shit is what's gonna make you the more money on the game. Because if you got better internet connection, more people gonna play the game. You can have more events. You can get more publicity. You know what I'm saying? With the game, but you can have more tournaments. You can have more park after dark.
To be honest, I'm to the point with that I don't even want to talk about the servers no more. I'm being honest. I kind of gave up on them with that.
I know you gave up on the servers, but it's just it's something that needs to be fucking pointed out because
I'm sure they know. They know.
Nobody talks about it. No, I'm saying it's not just they know, because of course they know, they fucking developed the game. It's the fact
Yeah.
that they own their Call of Duty shit. I've told you this before. I said 2K is the Call of Duty of sports. You know, it used to be Madden, but now it's 2K.
And what happened to Call of Duty right now?
You know, Call of Duty's dying, and I'm like,
Guess
but
what? You see live right now. A lot of people
exactly,
say NBA Live is really playable.
exactly.
Right now, this is the same conversation we were having a few years ago with Battlefield.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are diehard Call of Duty fans and was like, yeah, Battlefield, all right, but then people like, yo, it's playable.
Mm-hmm.
It's playable. Until Call of Duty start getting ignorant and start putting people with jetpacks all over the place. And people, it was like, it was cool the first one, like the first 3 months. Then people were like, nah, man, this shit, this gimmick shit, it just ain't realistic, man. Like,
And then
people,
they added in the what they call it, the drop packages, or
yeah, they
yeah,
now I'm seeing now you see that those job packages remind me a lot about what's going on. Like,
supply
it's
drop.
it got me reminiscent, man. Like, I was looking at that VC and shit. That 2K keeps increasing
But
every
that's what
year.
that's their version of the supply drop, is the fucking
Exactly,
VC.
exactly.
You know
So
what I'm saying?
now I'm seeing a lot of what I was seeing in Call of Duty over the years. And yo, 2K, they gotta watch out, man. Live is
And it's
sneaky
turning
me.
people the fuck off, because I listen to one of you. I watch your videos. You know, I don't watch them every single
Yeah,
video, because you make like 7 videos a day.
television.
But like, but I try to watch as much as I can. One video you was talking about niggas spent $500. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
500.
One of my boys
I was,
definitely spelled.
I was like, $500 in
Wait,
VC.
wait,
That
and
is,
that's over 500, right? He just rounded off, so he
yeah.
definitely spent over $500.
But I'm just saying, like, where is the logic of gamers? Like, why would you spend $500 on a video game
No, but
that
all right,
isn't
but
doing anything to improve itself?
in all fairness, man, he's retired now. All right, so he got that freedom financially to do that
Well,
type of
I
shit.
get that, but
All
what I'm
right,
saying, but this happens to kids too, little ass kids.
yeah,
Like
no, that's the problem.
my best friend's son, right? You know, and you know, this is for another game. But when Grand Theft Auto came out, and they started having all those not VC packs, but you know,
I agree on that.
basically money packs. You could buy money in the game so you can customize your character and shit. This nigga spent $250 over a course of 4 or 5 months on money, imaginary money for the game. And I'm like,
Yeah.
whatever happened to players earning shit? And why ain't we getting rewarded
Yeah.
as players for earning
But
shit?
I mean, we gonna keep saying that. Like, everyone know I always upload videos pushing people to grind out players and shit like that. Because to me personally, I think it's part of the gaming experience, right? All right. The
Yeah.
problem is I've been playing game too long, so I remember. I remember just grinding out games, playing from scrap and building your players up, so you feel like you achieve something, right? But a lot of people don't have the time like I do when it comes to gaming. In all fairness, a lot of people just want to get on and play that game. They probably want the best player possible. They're probably gonna look up YouTube and look up a bunch of these terrible
And
builds
find you.
that a lot of people gonna be they're gonna find me after, after they wasted a lot of money on these terrible builds, right?
Yeah.
Then they're gonna find me. Right? But they're gonna look up on YouTube, find a quick build, and spend that money on that VC and build that player up, right? And I mean, that's how 2K make a lot of their money, especially after they introduced that archetype system too, where you now need multiple archetypes if you got to play this game. Let's be honest. As soon as the archetype is working too well, they patch them. They don't want any dominant archetype like that. They start patching archetypes. So your player, after you invest all that VC in, get patched, becomes useless, then you gotta go spend some more money creating more players, man.
But you know, I don't remember what game it was that we was playing. Was it 2K16? I believe that's the last 2K
Probably.
that I played, because I refused to play at 17. The they had the system right before this archetype bullshit. You're going to disagree with me on this, but I hate the archetype system because it locks you into an ideology of how you're supposed to play a player. Then it promotes you buying VC so that you can, you know, A, customize your players, B, buy more taunts and shit for your players, C, so you can buy more VC to fucking upgrade your players, and then 3, it just restricts the freedom of how you want to play the game. Because you know me, I'm not trying to spend a whole bunch of time fucking making 9 motherfucking characters. It's a one and done, baby, over here. So it's like,
All
it's like what I liked about 2K16 was like it was based off height and weight as far as your attributes was concerned. You know, that had somewhat of an influence on how your character played. I think they should have took it to another level and based your height, you know, and your weight value on how you shoot.
Let me respond to someone here. Jelaine or Jalen. He said if they patch archetypes, have you seen the playmakers? Now let me explain something to the game to y'all that y'all don't know, man. All right. They try to patch the playmakers multiple times. The problem is this: speed and ball speed dominates everything, trumps everything in this game.
Exactly.
Right? So no matter what patch they do to this game, once you got that ball speed, right? Once you got that ball speed and that speed without the ball, you will dominate
it's
this
basically
game.
The quick scoping of
Exactly.
2K.
So that's why I started, right, to create my archetypes really slim. No matter what archetype I created, I start putting the lightest weight and start.
But you was doing that in 2K16. You've been doing that ever since.
Exactly. So because I figured out that speed is the most important thing in 2K. To hell with what everyone else say, man. All right. To hell with what everyone else say. Now, they try to, that's why they keep patching the shooting. Because the playmakers, you know, were just hitting like sharpshooters, man. So that's how they try to patch them at least, but they couldn't stop them from getting to the basket at all. Then they started to patch dunking, right? So they are making attempts. They've been trying to make attempts to patch playmakers. Don't get it twisted.
This is the thing. Archetypes is what's fucking everything.
Exactly.
Because
that's the next thing.
It causes, I'm sorry, because it causes imbalances in everything else. When you change one archetype, it even though it doesn't affect stats directly with every other archetype, it affects stats indirectly by how your character plays. Like, because you're always complaining about how your character moves when you have a patch. You know how your character feels. That's part of the patching, the patching problem.
One thing I gotta say about the playmakers, like someone mentioned that he gets stealed a lot. You get your ball ripped a lot with a playmaker. Now, if you know the game well enough, right? You expose the ball when you do size ups. You see a bunch of YouTubers do these size up and these speed boosting. They should be getting ripped right through. That's when the ball is exposed, especially if you play with a lockdown. You know how to steal the ball. Like, I'm hella cheesy with getting steals and shit like that. So when I play my point forward, I don't get ripped a lot. I don't, because I know how to dribble. I know when to dribble. I know what distance away to dribble. I don't do all that cheese shit. All right. I can, but I think it's useless. So I really don't, to be quite honest. But these size ups is when you tend to get most of your ball ripped from you, to be quite honest. Right. And the archetype system, let me defend the archetype system for a minute, man. Because everyone keep bashing the archetype system. I played 2K15, man. And we did it to ourselves, let's be honest. 2K15, everyone had that 7 feet demigod running around doing everything. So now 2K is trying to, was trying to implement that E-League shit. Of course, that's where the money is at. You cannot carry that 2K15 mentality to the E-League and pitch it to the NBA. They need to see players who know how to play their role. They want to see team ball. And that does not exist in that 2K15 kind of build at all.
The reason why big players or big taller players was effective in 2K15 was because of the simple fact that they exploited an exploit that we didn't realize was happening during that time, which was the weight system. You realized that shit before anybody else. You was telling me, why you got your players so fat? You need to slim your player down. Your player shouldn't be that fat. He's
I
gonna
always tell people all that weight shit,
and
because
so
speed and
because
basketball goes hand in hand, bro.
but the speed has always been an imbalance in 2K,
Yeah,
and
of course.
they've never addressed it. They've never fixed that problem. They've enhanced it. I mean, devalued it a little bit, but it's still an exploit in the game because players can slide off players still. Players
Speed,
don't.
man. Speed is the
Yeah,
dominant factor, bro.
and that's why I'm saying, both systems have their advantages and disadvantages, but I like the ability of being able to play a little bit more freely. I think that players should be restricted on their weight to height, value, and what position they play rather than archetypes. But that might be asking too much, because that way
like
players can
the system, man. I ain't gonna front.
that
I
way
like
players
it.
can
Points.
emphasize on defense, and they can play offense, even though you've made the defensive players just as good offensively. You're one of the few that I see out there balling with your defensive players.
Yeah, man. That's because, as I tell people, I figured out the game very easily. Man, it was, what I mean. A lot of people was bashing me how I created my lockdown, which I was, they laughed that I put it off the dribble. I maxed that shit out. All right, I maxed the hell out of that. The strength, my dude was slim as hell, so his strength only got up to like a 69 or something like that. But when I compared everyone else, all the other builds, you barely having anyone over 69 with strength. So why do I need strength like that at small forward position, right? So I tend to look at it logical, like especially like my position and stuff like that. And like a lot of people, oh, you build. I'm like, all right, cool. You do your thing. Let me do mine, bro. Let me do mine, right? My dudes out there banging threes, locking up anyone, D'ing up centers and shit.
Let me tell y'all something that y'all don't know about Brute. I'm about to reveal some backseat secrets.
Oh man,
Brutal Sim, once he creates his first player, that's his growing pain phase, which only lasts about 4 weeks. After that, he has the game figured out. He knows everything about the attribute system, how to get all the badges, everything. So he's like way ahead of the game on most of y'all anyway. And then most of the stuff,
I'm paranoid though.
And most of the stuff is still carried over from the older games.
Yeah,
so
that's because I naturally got an obsessive nature though. I literally go in the dark when I start grinding out players. Like I go missing for a week.
I know, because I'll be seeing you online. I'll be sending you an invite. You like, no, I'm playing right now.
and I'm like paranoid to maxing out my players as well and getting them the right. All right, so I tend to figure out the game as you play so much, because I put so much leisure time in this game. It's crazy. But a lot of people, like, I look a lot of bills and shit, man, and man, a lot of people waste that VC, bro. I ain't gonna front. They're wasting that VC, man, especially when attributes cost so much. You can't afford to do that shit. And everyone puts up, I got the best build ever, and then they play in full squads.
It's not even that attributes cost so much now. It's that VC is so hard to get now. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember in 2K16 and 15, at 2K and 16, 15, we used to make hella money playing in the park. Like we would go on winning streaks, and we would earn like
even 5, like on rivalry days though. You get double.
The rivalry days we was balling. You know what I'm saying? Like we would make like 15K in back in the rivalry days, because we go on 20-game winning streaks. But now, like from what I hear from you, like winning 5K on a 20K or 20-game winning streak is that's if you're lucky. You know what I'm saying?
Shit.
So
and
I
get most of my money in Pro-Am though. You get like a grand once you get an A+ or so. So
The
you,
thing, these are my suggestions for 2K if they want to compete with live, because if live
I
is
mean, they're
any,
leading now. Let's be honest. Live ain't there yet. They ain't even
I
close.
know, but I'm saying if live is even mildly decent, and like you said in one of your videos, when you get frustrated with 2K and you start going live, it's like when you get frustrated with your girl and then you start fucking another bitch, and then you start thinking all of a sudden, like, well, this other bitch, she don't really complain that much.
Like
She
that.
cooks, she clean, she listens. She not as fine as my main bitch, but you know, uh, I'm starting to have issues now.
Starting to have a
You know
little
what I'm saying?
feelings over
And
here
then, and
now.
then and then another year comes in, and then your side bitch is starting to look better than your main bitch because
Yeah,
she
yeah.
upgraded herself a little bit. She got a little plastic surgery. You know what I'm saying? She hitting the gym. You
It
know what I'm
happens,
saying?
bro.
She
It
letting you
happens.
bring in another girl with her. You know what I'm saying? So you niggas need to be careful because that's how it starts. I mean, how do y'all think? How do y'all think 2K took the title from Live? Because it was a live. It was live before 2K.
I don't know if
2K
18
was
gonna have a prelude yet, man. They didn't really release that much information on 18 yet. We gonna have some in a few weeks though, guaranteed. You gonna have a bunch of news dropping in the next few weeks.
so two. I mean 2K1. I think the biggest glaring weakness is, like I said, they need to do something. They need to either implement a hold lobby based system where it's you're not standing on the squares, but you're getting paired up randomly. Like a lobby, almost like Call of Duty. It's like, but you can call
Yeah,
it a locker room.
I could see that.
You can call it a
But,
locker room
but
because of that.
people
Just that
people like this is the thing, right? If
people
they do
like,
something
yeah.
like that, it's gonna take a huge cut of the money they make on VC. Because these walking animations, the skateboard and all these stuff that people, it's gonna take all of that out, man. Think about it. People walking
No,
around with mascots.
because what I was about to say was they already did one thing that can replace that, which is people now can join into your gym, and you can have like your own gym parties and shit like that, bring in like your friends in the community, and they can do like what Fantasy Star. I know you didn't play Fantasy Star back in the day, but Fantasy Star would have lobbies where people can link up and start games, and then rather than having the loading zones where, because let's face it, if you're in the park and then you gotta exit out the damn game, then you gotta go back to the other menu just so you can get into program, or you can go into blacktop or whatever. They
Yeah.
can just have like corridors in the lobby where you can just walk into them. So if you want to go play in the park, you can go walk into the park. If you want to go play in the in the blacktop, you can go play in the blacktop. If you want to play in the pro-am, you can play in the pro-am, and they can have a lobby where everybody sits and does that, and that's the loading zone before you go
All
into the
right.
lobbies. You know what I'm saying? So you still have you can show off and shit, and then
Yeah.
you can link up with your homies, and I'll cut
They
down on the
definitely need to keep that in the game. They definitely need to keep that for
that'll cut
real.
down their server usage, because then you just got this one big ass holding server where everybody is at, and you're not separated from everybody else. You don't have to join somebody's fucking server. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing I was thinking that 2K can implement into their game, is basically a almost like a MMO style
Yeah.
loading zone system. And the other thing is, either they need to either get rid of the defense and rebounding archetypes and just make that a part of the offensive archetypes, or go back to the old system. That's just my opinion, because I'm like, why do you have an archetype just dedicated to defense when the majority of the players in the community don't fucking give a fuck
No,
about
no,
defense?
this is what I said. I said this when the game dropped, and I got a lot of flag for this, man. I ain't gonna front.
Excuse me.
I looked at the archetypes and I was like really upset. I was like, yo, why is the defense like? Why can't the defense max out on my players, right? And
Hmm.
then I was like, then I understood why, because he got the defensive archetype. So I was like, yo, y'all probably need to take this defensive archetype out of the game, man. And I like my lockdown, man. It's one of my favorite archetypes, right? But something got to give, bro. Something got to
Well,
give.
because the thing about it is if you have a defensive archetype, yeah, you can now max out defense. But when you max out defense, do you really notice a noticeable difference? Because
But
after the bars go up to a certain point,
you
do
do.
you notice that
On my
I mean,
lockdown, I do. You know the
do,
difference there.
do you notice the difference? Now, see, I haven't played. I haven't
Defense
played
should be left up to, just like in real life, defense is left up to effort, right?
exactly.
Effort.
And that's why I'm saying get rid of defense and rebounding, make that a choice for the offensive player to make. Okay, so if I'm a slasher, if I want to be a defensive slasher, I can decide to be a defensive slasher. If I'm just a full shooter, I can decide to be a full shooter. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you making defense? Because that's just fluff anyway. Like, why? I mean, yeah, there are players that specialize in rebounding and defense, but let's face it, this is an
Tristan
arcadey. This
Thompson.
is this is more of an arcadey type shooter
No,
than
this
it
is
is.
why you see. This is why they move towards the archetype, because they really need that to get that shit in place for the E League, man. All right, you can't go to the NBA and pitch that presentation with an archetype NBA game. You can't. You gotta make it realistic as hell. Right? You gotta. And that's why I think this time they're gonna probably bring out some sub archetypes, moving more closer towards. So as I say, I'm done. The servers, I'm not even talking about the servers no more. So I'm looking at what they do for the archetypes, because live look like it's figured out, man. Even did you see the live archetype system, bro?
Yes, and I really thoroughly enjoy the archetype system because it's doing what I said. You still have the choice to be able to be an offensive player even though you play defense in live. Whereas, 2K, yeah, you can figure the shit out, but they make it difficult. And I don't like when I don't like when you're trying to make shit difficult for me as a player. And this is the other thing. This is the other suggestion I'm gonna make. 2K, if y'all watching this, which y'all probably ain't because we talking hell long, but if they really want to make money and we want to benefit as players, I'm gonna give them an option. So peep script. Give us more VC per game. Give us more VC in the park. Give us more VC in the pro-am. Give us our freebies back that we had in 2K16. And in exchange, we will let you have pay to play. Or pay to win, rather.
No.
So what I'm saying for pay to win is you can overmax your stats by spending VC, but only by 3 bars. For certain stats, like you can if you spend, let's say, I'm gonna throw out an astronomical number just to make niggas spend money. So let's say 100,000 a bar, you can overmax out 3 different stats in your archetypes. So if you're a shooter, you can make your shooting go up by 3 if you pay 300,000. If you want to make your slasher dunk better, you can pay to win. 3 more for 300,000 more for dunking. So if y'all really want to make some money, that's how you do it. Because the good players are still gonna abuse the niggas that abuse the system, just like in Call of Duty.
Fair enough.
You know what I'm saying?
Now on this,
what do you think about that?
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
I was just saying, what do you think about it though?
It's wishful thinking, but it's not gonna happen. All right, I done years ago. I stopped looking for Santa Claus for my gifts. I've done with that shit. I stopped looking for fairy, tooth fairy, and all that shit. Man, that's not gonna happen. Let's be honest, bro. It's just not gonna. And the next thing we gotta look at, bro. Someone mentioned it in one of my comments. They were like, yo, be careful, man. Live, eventually, when they get put on, it's going to be going for that money too, man. So, we don't know yet. But, I mean, that's not going to happen, man. It's all about the Benjamins right now. They got the most popular basketball game in the world, right?
Well, and the reason why is because, we let them get away with it. And we prove time and time again we're susceptible to it.
Fair enough, but this much I'll say, right? When there is no competition and people like basketball, you will play the best product out there. And for the past few years, 2K has been there,
Mm-hmm.
right? So yeah, I mean, you can't fully blame the consumers because that's the only option we got, right?
It's the only option we got. But imagine if they had a 40% drop in VC sales because consumers is tired of getting fucked in the game, and then you start demanding dedicated servers. You start demanding better product. You know what I'm saying? You can change shit with your wallet. It's just a lot of customers don't do it. How many times have you seen people ban, or protest against different brands, and these motherfuckers, they change up. Now eventually they go back to their old ways because an old dog can't change his spots, but he can paint over them for a minute. You know what I'm saying? So it's just economics 101. You know what I'm saying?
Fair
There's a
enough.
monopoly.
I feel you on that. I feel you on that. I feel you on that. No doubt, man. And anyways, man, we talking here too, though, man. Any final thoughts, man? Before we end this
Final
shit?
thoughts is that you know, I'm looking forward to 2K18 this year. You know what I'm saying? I hope that they make some changes. I'm going to get live as well because, if we don't support the competition, then, the main game ain't going to never change. And that, shout out to Brutal Sim for doing this and shit. My boy's blowing up. He's getting too big for YouTube. He's getting
First
too
week, man.
big for me now.
You know better than that, bro.
Support the podcast, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you stopping by, man. No doubt, bro. We gonna be kicking it here. I'm not sure if we're gonna do it every Friday though, man.
We do it every other Friday or whenever you free. I don't,
I might put it on a Wednesday or something. But right now, I'm actually playing in a basketball tournament, so the fixtures are kind of flexible when it comes to during the week. The only day I'm sure I'm off is on Friday, man. But we gonna definitely be kicking it here for a minute. The next thing I want to do is start to invite some subscribers probably in here as well, so we could get some debates, talk about some stuff, So the first one, let me know what y'all think in the comments. You already know, man. I appreciate everyone that support the podcast. You done know your boy Sim. One love, respect, bless.